Have you or a loved one received the devastating diagnosis of eternal functional subordinate or semi-Arian related heresy? Exposure to Wayne Grudem's systematic theology in the church or seminary has made thousands of people heretical with semi-Arian beliefs. If you use Grudem's systematic theology or have EFS doctrine, watch the following video to prevent heretical Trinitarian beliefs. Hey, I'm Kobe. I have a Master's of Divinity and am currently a PhD student in church history and historical theology. And this semester, I am taking a seminar specific to the doctrine of the Trinity. So what I hope to accomplish here is just to share with you some of the more interesting things I've learned in seminar. Many modern evangelicals repeat a form of subordinationalism without even realizing it. It's called eternal functional subordination, often shortened EFS, and it teaches that the Son has always submitted to the Father's authority. You'll find it in Wayne Grudem's Systematic Theology. In it, Grudem writes, "The Father has authority over the Son, and the Son joyfully submits to that authority eternally." That sentence sounds harmless until you compare it with the Nicene Creed. The Creed says the Son is begotten, not made, being of one substance with the Father. There is no hierarchy of will or rank, only an external relation of origin. But wait, doesn't begotten infer subordination? My kids were begotten, and as the begotter, I have authority over them. That sounds logical, but not when it comes to God. We cannot use our social structures to define the persons and relations of the Godhead, and that view leads to what's called social Trinitarianism, which goes hand in hand with eternal functional subordination, but we'll get into that some other time. Basically, the Orthodox view is that begotten refers to the eternal generation of the Son from the Father's essence, not as a temporal act or creation event. The Son is eternally from the Father, but never began to be. The Nicene Fathers use begotten, not made, to exclude any notion that the Son was created or subordinate. EFS distinguishes the Father and Son by authority and submission, rather than by begetting and being begotten. Wayne Grudem and Bruce Ware argue this is a functional difference, not an ontological one. But that move replaces the classic grammar of relation of origin with a hierarchy of roles. Historically, Arian and semi-Arian teachers in the 4th century said something similar. They said that the Son obeys the Father, therefore he is less. Nicene theologians saw that any eternal hierarchy within God implies inequality of being. Athanasius wrote in Orations against the Arians that the Son being from the Father is not under him as a servant, for the relation is of nature, not of will. And then Gregory of Nazianzus warns us in his oration not to let the terms Father and Son deceive you into imagining inequality of nature or authority. The Nicene theology insists that what differentiates the person is origin, not rank. The Son is eternally begotten, the Spirit eternally proceeds. There is one divine will, not three wills ordered by command. In the late 20th century, EFS gained traction through conservative complementarian circles. Grudem used it to ground male-female hierarchy in the Trinity. The Son's eternal submission supposedly mirrors a wife's submission to her husband. Because systematic theology became a default seminary textbook, pastors adopted its Trinitarian framework without checking against Nicene sources. So today, many sincerely Orthodox teachers describe an eternal chain of command inside God, unaware they're echoing language once condemned as semi-Arian. The Nicene Fathers defended both unity of will and equality of authority. The Cappadocians, which are Basil, Gregory of Nazianzus, and Gregory of Nyssa, clarified that authority and obedience describe the Son's economic mission, not his eternal being. Gregory of Nazianzus says, "When I hear that he came down, I think of condescension for our sake, not subjection to the Godhead." In other words, the Son obeys in time because he became incarnate, not because he is eternally subordinate. To import that earthly obedience back into eternity rewrites the Creed. Trinitarian hierarchy may sound practical, but it reshapes God into an eternal pyramid. Father on top, Son beneath, Spirit at the bottom. This is not the God of Nicaea. True Orthodoxy confesses one power, one will, and one glory shared by three co-equal persons. Any eternal subordinationism compromises that unity. So when you hear preachers describe the Father commanding the Son from eternity, recognize it for what it is: a modern, semi-Aryan echo. The cure is to recover the Nicene grammar, relations of origin, not relations of authority.